Do you understand why Baldur's Gate 3 is the current gaming obsession? Do you even know what it is? Maybe you're wondering how this game that you've barely heard of is the second biggest game to launch on Steam this year, with over 500,000 people playing it within the first 2 days. And what's this stuff with the bears? Hey, let me catch you up and give you a crash course on Baldur's Gate 3, and if you do know about it, maybe you can correct me or tell me what I got right. Hey, my name's Alec, and here's the Hoot. Baldur's Gate 3 is literally Dungeons and Dragons in a video game. Wait, what about the actual Dungeons and Dragons video game? I actually think this might be even more D&D than that. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, where you roll the dice. It takes place in a setting that's called Baldur's Gate. If you want to be fancy, it's Forgotten Realms and Sword Coast. Point is, the main city is Baldur's Gate. But yeah, it's a classic RPG, how you roll the dice to attack, decide when to attack, to persuade, to deceive people, to do anything, lift a boulder, convince people to have sex with you. If you play D&D, it makes sense to you, and if you haven't, this might be a really good intro. You can do whatever you want, however you want, whenever you want. It's just up to you and your imagination. You could have a completely different experience in the same place as somebody else and 1,000 others. Be a sorcerer dragon, barbarian druid, go raid bandits, recruit this sentient brain. Someone might be able to convince the squirrels to help them while talking to them, while the other person can't talk to them and now they're getting attacked by woodland creatures. But what makes this different than other games with choice? Part of it is that it's just huge. There's over 1,000 endings. Now yes, the endings are as simple as this person died, this person didn't, but you can see the little variations make a lot of difference. And it's a D&D IP that's been going for a long time, since the 90s, so people are used to it that's in that game, or maybe people are just looking for a great RPG. And this time around, the set pieces and the universe is getting a little more blockbuster or Hollywood, with they're bringing in great voice talent such as J.K. Simmons, or maybe even Jason Isaacs. You know him as Lucius Malfoy, Draco's father. And I think the idea there is that it brings even more acclaim to their NPCs. And I think leading up to the release of this game, if you didn't know about it, is the way they dripped out information, even the infamous bear scene. They were just letting people know some of the cool things, like the amount of endings, the different things you could do, and it just felt like a good steady stream of gameplay. Also, they just weren't rushed like everyone else, but they weren't pressured. They weren't on the same type of pipeline. They weren't throwing it out there like everything else. It's a game that was taking time, and look, there's not going to be microtransactions either. It's a full game with thousands of hours ready to go when it was ready. There's a reason the Xbox version is not coming out at the same time as the others, because they need more time to make it right. So it's a mix of a classic IP with refined gameplay, maybe some great marketing. It also helps that maybe streamers discovering what the term hide clothes possibly means. With the success of games like Diablo 4 as well, it looks like high fantasy and RPGs are having a really good time in the gaming space. Maybe we'll see a renaissance or resurgence of either classic RPGs or even more high fantasy games. But let me know what you think why Baldur's Gate 3 might be having so much success, or tell me if you're playing what you love about the series or about this game. Follow for more gaming conversation. Hey, my name's Alec. Thanks for talking games with me. And remember, games were meant to be fun.